Hello everyone, welcome to Apti Place Academy for Civil Services. This is a video on daily news and editorial analysis, which I'll be covering from the Hindu and Indian Express. The most important news and editorial of the day will be discussed in this session. Let's get started with news topic list. Today is 16th of April. The first news is eDARportal to speed up the accident compensation claim. Second, USFDA approved first batch breath of the COVID-19. Third, Navy accelerate Indianization effort. And the second last is India to get record number of doctors in the coming years. This is what the Prime Minister has to quote. And the last is editorial, food vaccine as a right, more so for the TB patients. Apart from this news and editorial discussion at the end of this video, there will be some MCQ based question. These questions will be based on current affairs that will help you for the upcoming prelims examination, right? So without any further delay, let's get started. Before that, if you're new to our channel, do not forget to subscribe Apti Plus Academy for Civil Services on YouTube. If you like this video, if you find this video informative and helpful, do not forget to press a like button. And just to tell you about the open mock test that we are organizing on these dates, if you are preparing for civil services this year, make sure that you register yourself and get the mock test done. This is something that will help you in a longer run and get a good marks in the prelims examination. तो आप अपने आप को रजिस्टर कर सकते हैं. मैंने वीडियो के डिस्क्रिप्शन में लिंक दी हुई है, ज़्यादा जानकारी वहाँ से ले सकते हैं. The first news of the day, that is eDARportal to speed up the accident compensation claim. This is important for General Studies Paper 2, that is government policies and intervention for the development of various sectors and issues arising from a design and implementation. So looking into the detail of this news, in order to help and accelerate the accident compensation in India, the claim which is actually made after the accident, the Ministry of Road Transport and Highway ने decide किया है कि वो नई portal launch की है, that is known as eDAR, that is e-Detailed Accident Report, right? So this is a digitalized detail of the accident report that would be uploaded for easy access both for the individual or जो भी stakeholders इससे concerned है उनके लिए. The online portal will bring relief to the victim families, and this portal is designed by the government in consultation with the insurance companies. जो insurance company claim देगी उनके लिए भी आसान होगा ताकि वो सारी चीजें डिटेल को एक जगह रख पाएंगे. And this will provide instant informations for the accident within few click to accelerate the accidental compensation claim, because many a times it take problem, some paperwork that is there, the bottlenecks in terms of the paper clearance led to the delay in the claim clearances. Now everything is made online, or जो eDAR है, that is e-Detailed Accident Report, would definitely expedite the process of clearances. Now it will be linked to the database for instant information sharing. Now integrated road accident की अगर बात करें, the web portal has been linked with the integrated accident database जिसको IRDB कहते हैं, and this IRAD is application for more than 90% of the database that would be directly pushed towards the eDAR. Stakeholders like police, road authorities, hospital administrations required the essential data during the eDAR forms. So ये सारी mandatory stakeholders हैं जिनको concern करना होगा with regard to the road accident database. Thus, eDAR would also be an extension and e-version of that is IRAD, that stands for Integrated Road Accident Database. तो ये दोनों चीज़ों को collaborate की जाएगी, it should be paneled so that the complete database is available at one point of time. Now, क्या advantages होंगी eDAR जैसे platform की? So this portal will conduct a multiple accident checkup in terms of the fake claims that is coming, in terms of the accident that is going. और इसके लिए एक important information ये है कि जो FIR है वो भी accident के साथ merged होने चाहिए. So the database has to be integrated in such a manner that the complete verification of an individual must be done. And the portal would be linked to the other government portals like Vahan, which will have an access to information, driving license, detail, and registration of vehicles. So these are going to be integrated in all the portals with the eDAR, which will give you a clarity about how the compensation has to work. और जितने भी एजेंसीज हैं, चाहे वो enforcement agencies हो, hospital हो, या concern और भी कोई stakeholders है, उन सारे के लिए one stop solutions होगी to get and check the details and finally get the compensation part. Now the benefit of the investigating officer, the portal would provide a geotagging की भी facility available है to extract the accident जहाँ पे हुई उस spot को identify करने के लिए geotagging की जाएगी. This is something important for your prelims examination as well. And this will notify the investigation officer with his distance in the spot incident. Portal will be accelerated by the locations. Now detailed like photo, video and accident, damaged vehicles, injured victims आई विटनेस, ये सारी चीज़ों की जो फोटोज हैं वो इमीडिएटली उस पोर्टल पे अपलोड करनी होगी विद इन अ स्पैन ऑफ आवर्स, राइट? तो दिस इज समथिंग विच गवर्नमेंट हैज कम अप एक्चुअली टू expedite the process of the claim settlement. Now, if you see number of that is reported in India, देख सकते हैं data. Although it has deteriorated earlier, it was 4.8 lakh in 2016. Now, after the upgradation of technology and government regulation, it has reduced to 3.5%. Now, death यहाँ पे देख सकते हैं death per 100 accidents में कितनी death report की गई. Earlier it was 32. Now this number has taken a toll up to 37. And number of death till date during the car crash is somewhere 1,33,201. Now, USFDA approved first breath test for COVID-19. Issues related to development and management of health में ये काफ़ी important है और एक landmark achievement है for the USFDA where oral breathing test can help to detect the virus whether it is there or not. तो positivity और negativity की जो test है वो अब सीधे breath test से हो सकेगी. In a major breakthrough to enhance the level of COVID-19 testing, जो US की FDA, that is Food and Drug Administrations, they have recently given the emergency authorizations for COVID diagnostic test, जहाँ पे breath samples use किए जाएंगे to get the clarity about the positive and negative of the virus, right? So the agency has also revealed ये जो test है that would be performed by the qualified and trained personnel, क्योंकि यहाँ पे again एक level of excellence चाहिए होगी so that the individual can perform in the right directions. और वो पर्टिकुलर स्टेट लॉ जो प्रिस्क्राइब्ड है उसके अकॉर्डिंगली ही टेस्ट करेंगे. इंटरेस्टिंगली द टेस्ट positive result is given within 3 minutes. You can see the result. This is coming within fraction of minute. You can get the results. Now about InspectIR, this is actually the machine that has been developed. So the new diagnostic test is called InspectIR breath analyzer, and this breath analyzer has a chemical associated with it which actually detect the coronavirus. So कौन-कौन से ऐसे chemical, I'll give you an idea. So FDA has informed that the InspectIR, that is the COVID-19 breath analyzer, uses a technique called chromatography glass mass spectrometry use की जाती है इसमें, which is also known as GCMS. ये एक separate chemical of mixtures को use करती है like volatile organic compounds that is linked with the COVID-19 infection. जब वो एक्सेल करते हैं अपने ब्रेथ को तो वो कुछ volatile organic compounds हैं, उनके थ्रू वेरिफिकेशन होती है whether the individual is having a COVID infections or not. So InspectIR has expected to have produced approximately 100 instrumental per week. इसकी डेवलपमेंट बहुत जोर शोर से चल रही है, and even it can equate the process of approximately 160 sample per day. So this is how things work. Within per week it can give so many results, but the number is going to increase and the number of machines production is also going to increase. So you can look into this image. This will give you an clarity how things work. You can see this individual, how he is using his breath to get an testing done in terms of the COVID-19, and this is actually the InspectIR machine. This is how it's look like, right? Now moving to the trial and study that was conducted in this regard, the US agency जो FDA है, they have said that the performance test was already done in this regard, and this was largely done on the individual that was mounting up to 2409. So the result revealed that 91.2% sensitivity देखी गई है and even 99.9 specificity देखी गई है. Sensitivity का मतलब होता है the percentage of positive sample to the test corrected, और sensitivity का मतलब होता है कि जो नेगेटिव टेस्ट है वो कितनी ज़्यादा आइडेंटिफाई हुई है, राइट? सो दिस इज अ लेवल ऑफ करेक्शन इन टर्म्स ऑफ पॉजिटिव एंड नेगेटिव केसेस. Additionally, test performed with similar sensitivity follow up the clinical study, जहाँ पे ओमिक्रॉन की जो वेरिएंट है उस पर स्पेसिफिकली गवर्नमेंट ने फोकस किया हुआ है ताकि उस वेरिएंट को आइडेंटिफाई की जा सके. एंड इवन द एक्सी वेरिएंट, द न्यू वेरिएंट दैट हैज बीन रिपोर्टेड इन चाइना एंड मेनी पार्ट्स ऑफ द कंट्री, एंड इवन इंडिया हैज आल्सो स्टार्टेड रिपोर्टेड द केसेस. सो this would be something that would be identified using this, but still we do not have a clarity whether India would have this machine or not. Now warning by USFDA ने कहा है that negative results of breath analyzer does not rule out कि साथ COVID-19 की इन्फेक्शन नहीं है. तो बेसिकली यहाँ पे बात ही कहना चाह रहा है कि जो ऑथेंटिसिटी है, अभी क्रेडिबिलिटी एक्चुअली 95% है, बट अगेन अ लेवल ऑफ प्लस माइनस इज देयर. So it's only basic treatment of the patient management decision, including the infection control decisions. So if you are diagnosed, make sure you are also getting some other tests done to get a final assent that whether you are infected or not. Now the other news, Navy accelerate the Indianization's effort. This particular news is important for General Studies Paper 2, Government Policies and Intervention for the Development of Various Sectors and Issues Arising from it, Design and Implementations. So in a part towards Indianization of the defense manufacturing, government ने push किया है to cut down the defense import and boost the domestic manufacturing in our country. ये एक ऐसी efforts है which has gained momentum during the ongoing crisis between Russia and Ukraine, and we know that India is largely dependent on Russia in terms of military supplies. तो उसकी dependency को कम करने के लिए ये कोशिश की जा रही है. And even it will also help to accelerate India making initiative in defense manufacturing, जो आत्मनिर्भर भारत initiative है उसको लेकर के, and even the PLI scheme that is also aligned by the government would help in the longer run. Now, India's Navy Indianization plan की अगर बात करें, Indian Navy, which has taken an early lead towards Indianization, in 2014 has promulgated the Indian Navy Indianization plan to enable indigenous development of the system, and this is further revamping the efforts where weapons and aviation related items would be manufactured. Now, 4 in-house Indianization committee will have formed to handle the Indianization of spare with respect to the naval aircraft. Now, naval aviation Indianization roadmap की अगर बात करें, till date Navy has Indianized around 3,400 items to the INP, which include 2,000 machinery and electrical spares as well, right? So aviation spares over 250 weapons spare parts के होंगे, और जो existing naval aviation Indianization roadmap which was actually come up in 2019 would be also under the revisions. So all the fast moving aircraft mandatory spare and high cost of Indianization spare are being revised under the NIAR 2022 till 2027. So down the line 5 year आगे ये बहुत ही important aspect होगी जहाँ पे naval aviation Indianizations को भी बढ़ाया जाएगा. Now, what is the current status? According to Indian Navy, there is currently 41 ship and submarine under construction. 99 are being built under the Indian shipyard, and with the principle of an approval from the Ministry of Defense that is existing for the 47 ship to be built in India. So this is the current status in terms of Indian Navy submarine under that is ongoing construction work. Focus area की अगर बात करें, some of the focus area include Indianization, design, development and productions of anti-submarine weapon sensors, SCOTUMs and electric warfare equipments, anti-ship missile range जो air missile system है वो भी, combat management system, software defined radars, network encrypted device linked to communication systems, main batteries of the submarines, distress sonar system and components of missile and torpedo. So these are the focus area of the government in terms of developing the other excellence in the Indian Navy. Now, India to target record number of doctors in coming year. This news is important for General Studies Paper 2, issues related to development and management of health. So recently, while addressing to a video conference, Prime Minister has categorically said that the country will receive a record number of doctors in coming 10 years, right? So this is a plan of the government to establish medical college in each and every district. This is what the Prime Minister has to say. And the Prime Minister said that the government efforts to make medical education for everyone would help to cause, and definitely it will augment the number of doctors that is required for a country like India. Government की क्या roadmap है? The Prime Minister has said that the government aims to at least have a medical college in each and every district of our country, and this would ensure that medical education was for everyone reachability, and record number of doctors and medical practitioners are there in the country after 10 years. I will be sharing some information via infograph that will give you an idea that what is the exact situation in the country. But अगर कोविड की बात करें, अगर OECD countries में देखें per 1000 people पे कितने डॉक्टर्स हैं, the highest in the Germany that is 4.3, सबसे ज़्यादा डॉक्टर्स हर 100,000 इंडिविजुअल पे 4 डॉक्टर्स हैं जर्मनी में, इंडिया में 0.8, चाइना में 2.0, यूएस में 2.6 और यूके में 2.9. Now the best states and the worst states in terms of doctor. So Tamil Nadu has a 253 doctors. This is like for the number of ratio we're having. And this is followed by Delhi, Karnataka, Kerala, Goa and Punjab. Now in Jharkhand, we have the worst cases, that is one doctor per doctor, almost 8,180 logo. So these are the performances that we can see. And among that, Himachal is having a pretty better number. But again, ये सारी worst states की list है, ये best state की list है. Now healing touch की अगर बात करें, So for health sector, you can see this infograph that will give you an idea कि कितने डॉक्टर्स एलोपैथ हैं, कितने आयुष के डॉक्टर हैं, हायर एजुकेशंस की क्या रैंकिंग है इंडिया में, कितने मेडिकल कॉलेजेस हैं, कितने एनुअल स्टूडेंट की एनरोलमेंट है. यू कैन गेट द डेटा हियर. And this is a medical infrastructure in India for rural, urban and total, right? So number of medical colleges in Tamil Nadu is 20. 3 more than medical colleges were set up by the state government. So these are the performances of India's doctor, their enrollment and the capacity that we are operating with. Now, number of registered doctor in India, again from 2010 to 20, you can see this variation. Although we have achieved the target of this much in 1225 number, it's almost 1000 के numbers पे हैं. So these are also the infograph that will help you to write your answer in mains paper. Food vaccine is a right more so far for the TB patients. This is an editorial, a brilliant editorial, a comprehensive editorial written by K.R. Antony. He is a pediatrics and he also worked with the director for the state healthcare resources in Chhattisgarh and Kerala. This important editorial is relevant for Gender Studies Paper 2, Welfare Schemes for the Vulnerable Section of the Population by the Center and the States. So what I'm going to discuss under this editorial, I'll be discussing and simplifying this editorial by 6 important subheads. The first is history and a perspective, not a patient-centric, nutritional status of the TB risk, TB cases in India, role of NGO and government, and the way forward. So the entire editorial focuses upon the problem and solutions for TB. So in past, there has been a belief that it is a pill that is actually working for all the problems. Now, India has, the Indian people have been using all kind of pills to get solutions done, but this is not actually helping. अगर germs की बात करें, bacteria की बात करें, virus की बात करें, even for parasite, everyone is inclined to take the medicine at the earliest, which should not be the case. वैसे क्या होती है, जो drugs की resistance होती है और बाद में काफ़ी ज़्यादा problem होती है. So factors such as genetic and metabolic is a cause, जहाँ पे hormonal imbalances भी दिखी गई है, neurochemical transmission is there and illegal well known basically जो chemical transmissions है जब उस समय पता नहीं थी, अब medically advance होने के बाद ये चीज़ें पता चली कि neurochemical transmitter also causing illness, that was not known. But it was fairly good enough to know how the good air in terms of tuberculosis helping, खास करके nutrition की अगर बात करें तो किस तरह से न्यूट्रिशन एक बहुत बड़ी इम्पैक्ट करती है. पूरी एडिटोरियल की जो फोकस है किस तरह से जो ट्यूबरकुलोसिस है उसको हम बचा सकते हैं, व्हाट आर द प्रिवेंशन दैट वी कैन टेक एंड इवन फॉर एन इंडिविजुअल हु इज पुअर दैट आर द मोर वनरेबल टू द ट्यूबरकुलोसिस. हिस्ट्री एंड पर्सपेक्टिव की अगर बात करें, इन अर्लियर डेज जो सैनाटोरियम्स होते थे, इफ यू हैव विजिटेड एनी लाइट हाउस और इफ यू हैव विजिटेड एनी हिल स्टेशन, you must have seen sanatoriums. These are located in the hill stations, right? So this was set up in the mountain terrain, जहाँ पे fresh air, pure waters and good food available थे, which was considered to be the best option for to cure the TB, right? Now the drugs was also there. Streptomycin से पहले ये सारी चीजें होती थी, उसके बाद streptomycin की discovery हुई, and this has improved after further the wage, the better learning standard, complying the higher purchasing power that has helped to reduce the TB mortality, right? पहले 300 थी वो, अब इसको घटा करके इंग्लैंड और वेल्स में ऑलमोस्ट 60 कर दिया गया था उस टाइम पे. So the only problem with TB is that this is associated with the poor people who do not take care of their nutrition and even they are more susceptible to air pollution and other sort of water-borne diseases. Now, not a patient-centric, बात की गई है कि जो ड्रग एसेंशियल है, आप बहुत सारे 3 ऐसे इंपॉर्टेंट ड्रग की बात की गई है, रिवापेसिन, इथाप्रोनॉल और प्राइजामिनाइड. So these are the drugs that has actually come up with a multi-drug resistance in due course of time. और इस regime में जो multi-mode delivery of drug है वो exchange with the loopholes not accompanied by the illiterate and irresponsible patients. Now blister packs of drugs, blister का मतलब होता है packet of basically जो medicines आप लेते हैं उसको blister pack कहते हैं. This is a multi-drug regime that was provided to the doorstep for the basically to cure the disease. तो DOT कहते हैं इसको, that is direct observation treatment. This was again helping them. Now TB के लिए DOT is something that was essentially has been advertised by the government in the National Health Mission as well. And many of the poor have discontinued the blister pack because they find this to be very hot and strong, which was not helping them in a longer run also, right? Now nutritional status और TB risk की अगर बात करें, So, according to the doctors, the nutritional of the individual is most vital factor for the prevention of tuberculosis, and it is most likely that the drug alone, supplemented by the vaccine, cannot control the TB underwhelming countries. Now, the fact is that 90% of the doctor is exposed to TB remain dormant in their nutritional state, thereby immune to the good. So, ये ज़रूरी है कि इस स्टेज पे इंडिया जिस जंक्चर पे न्यूट्रिशनल लेवल को प्रमोट किया जाए. फोर्टिफाइड फूड्स इज ऑलरेडी देयर, बट वी नीड टू इंश्योर दैट क्वालिटी फूड शुड बी देयर सो दैट मेनी पीपल हु आर एक्सपोर्ट टू द ट्यूबरकुलोसिस शुड बी प्रिवेंटेड. Now, TB केसेस इंडिया की अगर बात करें, ऑलमोस्ट 10% आर इन्फेक्टेड. इंडिया में जो टोटल पॉपुलेशन है 2.8 एक्टिव केसेस हैं, 2.8 मिलियंस. And the disease for the poor is 3 times likely to be the treatment, for the 4 times likely to complete their treatment in TB. So in due course of time, government has achieved some success, but this has to be done in a comprehensive way where it is working in the ground, right? And the research in 2014 showed that the undernutrition in the adult population is a major cause for the TB epidemics. Now, अगर सेंट्रल टीबी डिविजन्स की बात करें, मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ हेल्थ की, दैट हैज कम अप विद द गाइडेंस डॉक्यूमेंट वेयर न्यूट्रिशनल केयर एंड सपोर्ट फॉर द पेशेंट फॉर द ट्यूबरकुलोसिस वाज categorically released, and they specifically focus upon the nutrition as an important element to cure the tuberculosis. Now you can see this infograph जहाँ पे आपको ये पता चलेगा कि सबसे ज़्यादा केसेस इंडिया में है वर्ल्ड वाइड, उसके बाद चाइना, फॉलोड बाय इंडोनेशिया, नाइजीरिया, साउथ अफ्रीका, देन बांग्लादेश, पाकिस्तान, इथियोपिया, और ये कुछ और कंट्रीज की लिस्ट है जहाँ पे ट्यूबरकुलोसिस के केसेस रिपोर्ट किए गए. Now, role of NGO. Some NGOs has come up to help and show their proactive approach by providing foods, चाहे वो eggs हो, milk powders हो, pulses हो, bengal gram हो, groundnuts हो, oils हो, ये सारी चीज़ों को उनको दी गई so that they can help and get the proper nutritions. Now, Nishanka Poshan Yojana under the National Health Mission is also helping all the states with providing cash support 500 per month to the TB patients to buy their food and the amount essentially required to raise the good quality of nutrition. वे फॉरवर्ड की अगर बात करें, अकॉर्डिंग टू एक्सपर्ट, जो अंडर न्यूट्रिशन है दैट इज सिंडेमिक टू द टीबी. सिंडेमिक का मतलब होता है दिस इज अ सिचुएशन वेयर 2 or more इंटर रिलेटेड बायोलॉजिकल प्रॉब्लम वर्क टुगेदर टू इंक्रीज द वर्स्ट कंडीशन ऑफ एनी हेल्थ प्रॉब्लम, राइट? एंड इवन डॉक्टर्स आर ऑफ द ओपिनियन टू मेक take of the adequate balanced food where especially the work or the vaccine has to be prevented. Now, food vaccine is guaranteed एंड इट्स अ राइट ऑफ एन इंडिविजुअल. तो इस एडिटोरियल में ये फोकस की गई है, जो एडिटोरियल की थीम है कि जो फूड वैक्सीन है वो प्रमोट करने की जरूरत है. फूड वैक्सीन का मतलब है न्यूट्रिशन शुड बी प्रमोटेड एंड नो दिस शुड बी अ राइट ऑफ अ लाइफ अंडर द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन विच बोथ टीबी पेशेंट्स टू कम अप विद. और गवर्नमेंट को भी ये देखना चाहिए कि वैक्सीन के अलावा यहाँ पे फूड वैक्सीन जैसे चीज़ों को इनकॉर्पोरेट किया जाए जहाँ न्यूट्रिशनल एस्पेक्ट्स को बढ़ाया जा सके, राइट? एंड दैट्स द गोल ऑफ रिड्यूसिंग द इंसिडेंट फॉर द टीबी इन इंडिया. And reducing the TB mortality can be reached without addressing this nutrition. तो अंडर न्यूट्रिशन की प्रॉब्लम अगर जब तक इंडिया में सही नहीं की जा सकेगी, इट इज इम्पॉसिबल टू गेट अ विन इन द ट्यूबरकुलोसिस एज वेल. सो फर्स्ट एंड फॉरमोस्ट एसेंशियल पार्ट इज दैट द न्यूट्रिशनल शुड बी इम्प्लीमेंटेड. द न्यूट्रिशनल एस्पेक्ट्स सारे लेवल पे काम की जाए, एंड इवन दैट इज वॉट एक्चुअली वर्किंग इन द अदर पार्ट्स ऑफ द वर्ल्ड ऑल्सो. सो दिस कैन बी द वे फॉरवर्ड दैट यू कैन राइट इन एग्जामिनेशन. Moving ahead with the MCQ questions of the day, before I proceed, just to tell you the answer of yesterday's question. For first question, the correct option is C. For second question, the correct option is C. Today's MCQ for practice, Maitru Setu project के बारे में आपको बताना है. It's a bilateral relationship between India and Sri Lanka, and this was a project taken up by the Land Port Authority of India. So if you know the correct answer, it's well and good, or you can look for the correct answers also. Second, DESLIC 2, very important for examination and especially for CAPF examination. India and Sri Lanka, India, Japan, Russia, India, Afghanistan, and India, Uzbekistan. So do check it out for the correct answer. This was all about for the daily news and editorial analysis, followed by the MCQ questions. If you have any other concern, you can let me know. I'll be more than happy to assist you. For time being, I'm signing off. Thank you so much for watching this video.